Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today, we have monumental updates about the Iraqi dinar. And trust me, you do not want to miss this breakdown. Something big is happening right now in Iraq. In a move that many investors have been waiting for, Iraqi television has begun broadcasting new exchange rates for the dinar. This is not a rumor. This is being shown directly on local TV, and it is one of the clearest public signals yet that Iraq is preparing to implement major financial changes. For years, the exchange rate of the Iraqi dinar has been a topic of speculation, debate, and anticipation within the global currency community. Investors have been watching and waiting for signs of Iraq's economic transition, and this development might be the clearest signal yet. Reports indicate that these new rates will soon be fully displayed and explained to the public. This is important because when a government starts broadcasting rates on state television, it is a sign that they are ready to educate their citizens and prepare them for change. This kind of move is rarely done unless a country is serious about implementing reforms. 2b8. Why this is so significant. The fact that Iraq is publicly displaying rates shows confidence. It demonstrates that the government and the Central Bank of Iraq are committed to strengthening the national financial system and moving toward a more transparent, modern economy. Broadcasting these rates also builds trust with the public and signals to the international community that Iraq is entering a new phase of monetary reform. But that's not all. As this news is breaking, Iraq's federal court has just issued a historic ruling, reaffirming its status as the highest legal authority in the country. The court made it very clear that its decisions hold ultimate legal supremacy and that no other governmental or judicial body can override its rulings. Why the federal court ruling matters. At first glance, you might wonder why a legal ruling is being mentioned in the same breath as currency news. But here's why it's so critical. This decision removes legal uncertainty. For years, Iraq's economic reforms have faced challenges, disputes over laws, interpretations of contracts, and competing interests that sometimes stalled progress. By asserting its authority, the federal court is effectively clearing the playing field. By rejecting multiple appeals and confirming that its decisions are final, the court has eliminated several legal and constitutional hurdles that might have delayed the implementation of new economic measures. This is exactly what investors and analysts have been waiting to see. Clear, decisive action that creates a stable legal foundation for Iraq's future. This ruling strengthens investor confidence and sends a message to the international community. Iraq is serious about enforcing the rule of law and creating a predictable environment for business, trade, and foreign investment. Berge. Setting the stage for global integration. These two developments, the public display of new exchange rates and the federal court asserting legal supremacy, work hand in hand. Together they lay the groundwork for Iraq's full integration into the global financial system. With legal obstacles removed, and the public being prepared for new rates, Iraq is now in a much stronger position to move forward with monetary reforms, banking upgrades, and potentially a long-anticipated revaluation of the dinar. The anticipation is building quickly. Investors are excited, the public is paying attention, and analysts are saying this could be one of the most significant turning points in Iraq's financial history. The coming days and weeks will be crucial as we watch for additional announcements from the Central Bank of Iraq and the government about what comes next. The latest developments out of Iraq have caught the attention of some of the most well-known voices in the dinar community, and their reactions say it all. This is the moment many have been waiting for. Let's start with Militiaman, a respected analyst who has been following Iraq's monetary reform process for years. In his latest update, Militiaman described this federal court ruling as the green light for Iraq to finally move forward without hesitation. He pointed out that for months, investors have been frustrated by delays, mixed signals, and political disputes that seem to slow everything down. Now, with the court's ruling reaffirming its constitutional authority, Iraq's leadership has no excuse not to act. According to Militiaman, this legal clarity removes many of the last remaining barriers to implementing the next stage of economic reform. He believes this decision not only gives confidence to Iraq's own citizens, but also to foreign investors, international agencies, and partner nations watching from the sidelines. In his words, Iraq is being given the green light to execute. Frank 26 and Firefly Sami. Banking system breakthroughs. Another prominent voice in the community, Frank 26, has also weighed in, and his insights are extremely encouraging. Frank's trusted source, known as Firefly Sami, has been providing boots-on-the-ground information from inside Iraq, giving investors a rare window into what's actually happening at the local level. According to Sami, Iraq has recently conducted a series of stress tests on its banking system. These tests involved high transaction volumes, cross-border transfers, and simulated large-scale exchanges to see how the country's infrastructure would hold up. Initially, these stress tests revealed significant weaknesses, bottlenecks in payment processing, slow clearing times, and even system outages that would have made a full rollout impossible. This is a critical piece of information, because it explains why we have seen some delays in Iraq's revaluation process. You cannot launch a currency reform on a fragile banking system. Doing so would create chaos. Citizens would lose confidence, transactions could fail, and the international community might view Iraq as unprepared. The good news, however, is that SAMI is reporting that these issues have now been resolved. Banks have upgraded their systems, new technology has been installed, and backup solutions are in place to ensure smooth operations even under heavy load. BRICS. Why banking upgrades matter. Strengthening the banking sector has always been a top priority for Iraq. You cannot expect to join the international financial system without first proving that your infrastructure is reliable, secure, and capable of handling large-scale transactions. Think about it. If Iraq is about to revalue its currency, potentially adding billions of dollars in value to its economy overnight, it needs to have a financial network that can manage that shift without breaking down. Everything from ATM withdrawals to interbank transfers to international SWIFT messages must function flawlessly. With these upgrades complete, Iraq is now in a much stronger position to execute major steps like adjusting official exchange rates, introducing lower denomination notes, facilitating foreign investment inflows, managing massive trade settlements with confidence. Frank 26 has emphasized that this technical readiness is the final piece of the puzzle before we see full public action, setting the stage for revaluation. All of this points to one conclusion. Iraq is no longer just talking about reform, it is actively preparing the ground for it. The combination of legal clarity from the federal court, public broadcasting of new rates on TV, and a fully tested, upgraded banking system is the trifecta that many investors have been waiting years to see. This doesn't just mean that Iraq is ready, it means Iraq is capable of carrying out the next steps. Whether it's the release of lower denominations, an adjustment to the official exchange rate, or a full-scale revaluation, Iraq now has the infrastructure and legal authority to make it happen. And that is why experts like Militiaman and Frank 26 are calling this a breakthrough moment. Because for the first time everything seems to be lining up at the same time. Iraqi TV begins broadcasting new exchange rates. Perhaps the most exciting and undeniable sign that Iraq is getting serious about its monetary reform is the fact that Iraqi state television is now broadcasting new exchange rates for the dinar. This is not speculation. This is happening publicly, on national TV for every citizen to see. For months, investors have been watching for exactly this kind of signal. A public communication campaign that prepares the Iraqi population for what's coming. The decision to broadcast new exchange rates is a strong indicator that the government and the Central Bank of Iraq (CBI) are no longer just talking behind closed doors. They are actively getting the public ready for a shift in how the national currency will function. The RAND. From rumors to reality. For years, news about potential exchange rate changes circulated mostly through unofficial reports, leaks, and investment forums. Many skeptics dismissed these as rumors. But now, with official television networks showing rates, the conversation has shifted from speculation to confirmation. Local reports confirm that these rates are currently being tested, a necessary step to make sure everything displays correctly across media, banking systems, and digital platforms. The expectation is that these rates will soon become fully visible, accessible to everyone, and reflected in official publications. This is a major leap forward, because it means Iraq is close to completing the technical and administrative work required to launch its next phase of monetary reform. Why this step is so important. Broadcasting new exchange rates is more than just a number on a screen. It is a signal of readiness. By taking this step, Iraq is accomplishing several key goals. Public awareness. Citizens are being gradually introduced to the concept of a new rate, preventing panic or confusion when it becomes official. System testing. Television broadcasts allow authorities to double-check accuracy and make sure that data flows correctly from the central banking system to media outlets. Building confidence. Displaying rates on TV shows transparency, which reassures both Iraqi citizens and international observers that Iraq is serious about stability and reform. Bright momentum is building. We have seen signs of progress over the past year. Banking upgrades, legal clarity from the federal court, international partnerships, and new legislation. But nothing is as visible in public as this. Broadcasting rates means the process is now out in the open, signaling to investors, banks, and governments around the world that Iraq is taking concrete steps forward. Many analysts believe that once these rates are fully displayed, Iraq will have reached the point of no return, meaning the government will be committed to the new value of the dinar and the transition to a reformed, internationally viable economy. Could we be just days away? The fact that the rates are being tested right now suggests that we may be only days away from the next phase of Iraq's monetary reform. When the CBI gives the final go-ahead, we could see official statements, press conferences, and the rollout of supporting measures such as the introduction of lower denomination notes and updated banking policies. For investors and observers, this is a moment to stay alert. The coming days and weeks could deliver some of the most significant announcements we have seen in years. The big picture. This move by Iraq is not happening in isolation. It comes at a time when the country is clearing legal hurdles, upgrading financial infrastructure, and adjusting contracts to prepare for a new exchange rate environment. It is a coordinated effort, and the public display of exchange rates is perhaps the most encouraging sign yet that Iraq is ready to take the leap. In short, we are not just talking about possibilities anymore. We are watching the transformation unfold in real time. If these rates go live nationwide, it will mark a historic milestone for Iraq and potentially for investors around the world. Reliable sources, including Walking Stick, reveal that the Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, is currently revising government contracts nationwide. Every contract is being adjusted to align with the expected new exchange rate of the Iraqi dinar. In addition, both the CBI and the Iraqi government are preparing to release official articles to educate citizens about lower denomination banknotes. These articles will show what the new currency looks like and explain how it will work in day-to-day transactions. A major step toward de-dollarizing the economy. Another strong signal of reform is that more and more contracts are now being settled exclusively in dinars, rather than US dollars. This shift indicates growing confidence in Iraq's national currency and supports the argument that Iraq is positioning itself for a stronger, revalued dinar. Gubium investor readiness and tax considerations. Investment experts like Guru Fu are advising dinar holders to prepare now. That means consulting tax professionals, organizing documentation, and creating a plan for handling post-RV profits responsibly. Proper tax planning is critical to maximize returns and avoid compliance issues. 2. Challenges and protests. Despite the progress, some challenges remain. Reports indicate that a number of Iraqi citizens have protested outside the central bank due to delayed deposits and difficulty accessing funds. These demonstrations underscore the need for continued reforms and improved public trust in Iraq's banking system. On the legislative side, the Iraqi parliament is expected to present the national budget within days. If passed, this budget could be a key trigger event for implementing long-awaited economic reforms. Redemption centers, fully operational. Prominent voice. Bruce has reported that redemption centers where dinar holders can exchange at new rates are fully staffed and operational again after a brief pause. Currency rates have also reappeared on trading screens, signaling that financial institutions are preparing for the next step. Bruce even hints at the possibility of special contract rates for early participants, which could mean significant gains for those prepared to exchange quickly. Birjai, the big picture. Iraq on the verge of transformation. All signs point to Iraq undergoing a major economic transformation. Legal obstacles have been cleared. Banking infrastructure has been upgraded. Contracts are being restructured. Exchange rates are being displayed publicly. Taken together, these developments suggest that Iraq is closer than ever to fully joining the international financial system and that the long-anticipated revaluation of the Iraqi dinar may be right around the corner. The coming weeks could be absolutely pivotal, not just for Iraq's future but for investors worldwide. Staying informed and ready to act will be crucial as the situation continues to unfold.